fell behind AC Milan 3-0 before the halftime whistle had even sounded. It seemed like the 2005 Champions League crown was well out of reach. 2 goals from Argentine Hernan Crespo were preceded by a surprising strike from legendary defender Paolo Maldini, which had Milan heading into the locker room with the victory all but secured. Even the most passionate, optimistic Liverpool supporters certainly thought all big heirs would be heading to Italy. And we all know what happens now, right? Steven Gerrard, Vladimir Smicer and Xabi Alonso provided the goals for one of the most thrilling comebacks in football history. The crowd at the Ataturk Stadium in Istanbul was in utter shock. The Liverpool fans were boisterous while the Milan supporters were silent. Liverpool would go on to lift the trophy after Jerzy Dudek backstopped his club to a famous 3-2 victory in the penalty shootout. With the nation attempting to recover from a devastating tsunami and subsequent nuclear disaster, Japan was given a boost by its women's soccer team, breaking American hearts in the process. The U.S. managed to take the lead on 2 separate occasions, with strikers Alex Morgan and Abby Wambach giving the heavily favored Americans a 1-0 and then 2-1 lead. But Japanese star Himir Sawa ensured that the match would go to penalties as the captain netted a goal in the 117th minute to keep Japanese hopes alive once again. The tying goal to send the match to extra time was scored late as well in the 81st minute of the thrilling match. With all of the momentum now in its corner, Japan would go on to win the World Cup on penalties as goalkeeper Ayumi Kaihori stopped 3 American shooters to give her nation its biggest win in soccer history. Barcelona managed to break Chelsea hearts in 2009 after one of the more controversial matches in Champions League history. The match is often remembered for the curious refereeing display by Norwegian official Tom Henning Abribo, who denied Chelsea 2 clear penalties, with fans of the Blues suggesting there could have been a couple more as well. The English side led the match 1-0 following a thunderbolt first-half goal from midfielder Michael Essien, which also gave them a 1-0 lead on aggregate, so things looked good for the Londoners despite their displeasure with Abribo. That is when Andres Iniesta scored in the 93rd minute to snatch a place in the Champions League final and send Chelsea home disappointed once again following their loss to Manchester United in the final of the competition the previous year. In the first World Cup ever played on African soil, Ghana made it to the quarterfinals of the tournament with an opportunity to make a groundbreaking appearance in the semi-final, which would have been the first ever for an African nation. The only thing standing in the way for the Black Stars was Uruguay. After an enthralling back-and-forth encounter that saw the match tied at 1 late in extra time, Ghana was given the chance to make history. After Ghana striker Dominic Adiaye headed the ball beyond Uruguayan keeper Fernando Muslera, Luis Suarez raised both hands to ensure that the ball didn't cross the line. Suarez was given a red card and Ghana was awarded with the potential winning penalty kick. When Asamoah Gyan, the team's leading scorer and talisman at the tournament, stepped up to the spot, the storybook ending was already being written around the world. That was until Gyan blasted his kick off the crossbar, giving Uruguay a lifeline it would not pass up. The South Americans would go on to win the match 4-2 on penalties, breaking not only Ghanaian hearts but those of the entire continent. In a match that has been dubbed the 5-minute final, Arsenal found itself up 2-0 against Manchester United with the aforementioned amount of time remaining on the clock. The fans at Wembley Stadium were then treated to a thrilling conclusion as 2 goals in a 2-minute span from Gordon McLean and Sammy McIlroy put the Red Devils on level terms. All signs pointed towards United going ahead and winning the match as Arsenal supporters in the crowd were stunned at what they had seen. But the emotional roller coaster finished on a high note for the Gunners as Alan Sunderland slid in at the back post to turn Graham Ricks's cross into a goal just a minute later, meaning Manchester United's incredible effort was all for naught. 2 years after it captured the World Cup title, France added the 2000 European Championship to its football repertoire. To do so, the French crushed Italian hopes with a thrilling 2-1 comeback victory, with the Azzurri leading 1-0 thanks to a 54th-minute goal courtesy of striker Marco Del Vecchio, who was a surprise inclusion in the starting 11, replacing Filippo Inzaghi. The match moved into the final minutes, and the Italian players stood on the sidelines ready to rush onto the pitch in celebration. That was until former Arsenal man Sylvain Wiltord broke their hearts with a goal in the 93rd minute, firing a low drive beyond goalkeeper Francesco Toldo to send the contest into extra time. Buoyed by the equalizer, France would go on to claim the Henri Delaunay trophy when David Trezeguet smashed a fabulous first-time volley into the roof of the net after 103 minutes, giving Le Bleu a famous victory. Italy would get its revenge in 2006, but this loss to France still hurts for many fans of the Azzurri. Turkey's journey at the 2008 European Championship in Austria and Switzerland was heartbreaking for almost everybody they crossed. Last-minute goals defined the tournament for the Turks, who progressed out of the opening group stage thanks to a 92nd-minute goal by Arda Turan against Switzerland, as well as an 89th-minute winner by Nihat Kahveci in the final group match against the Czech Republic, which secured a thrilling 3-2 comeback victory. But they weren't done there. Turkey met Croatia in the quarterfinal, where Ivan Klasnic put the Croatians ahead in the final minute of extra time and looked to have ended Turkey's run. But incredibly, the comeback kings of the tournament lived up to their billing as Semih Şentürk struck in the 123rd minute, which sent the match to penalties. Turkey would progress to the semi-final with a 3-1 victory in the penalty shootout before ironically being eliminated by Germany courtesy of a last-minute winner from defender Philipp Lahm. One of the more heartbreaking moments on this list came after a team actually won its match. The final day of the 2001 Bundesliga campaign saw perennial power Bayern Munich atop the table, once again leading Schalke by 3 points when they traveled to Hamburg, needing just a draw to claim the title due to an inferior goal difference. With Schalke claiming a 5-3 victory at home over SPVG Unterhaching, they needed news of a goal from Hamburg in order to get their hands on a league trophy. They got it from Bosnian midfielder Sergej Barbares when he struck in the 90th minute to give Hamburg a 1-0 lead. When news broke of the goal, Schalke fans rushed the pitch in celebration of what they assumed would be a league championship. But in the 3rd minute of injury time, as Schalke supporters continued to rejoice, Bayern Munich defender Patrick Andersen netted the equalizer that gave the Bavarian Giants the point they needed to secure the 17th league title in club history. As Bayern fans reveled in the result, Schalke's joy instantly turned to shock. The Scottish Premier League is too often derided for being a two-horse race that doesn't offer much variety from year to year. But that certainly hasn't taken away from the magic and excitement the league has conjured up in recent years, with the title often coming down to the final day of the campaign. On the final day of the 2004-05 Scottish Premier League season, bitter rivals Celtic and Rangers once again found themselves fighting for the title. Celtic travelled to Fir Park for a meeting with Motherwell on the last match day of the campaign, while Rangers simultaneously took on Hibernian at Easter Road to decide who would claim the league crown. With both clubs leading their respective matches 1-0 and time ticking away, Celtic was poised to claim the title. That was until Motherwell's striker Scott McDonald equalised with a goal in the 88th minute before scoring again within 3 minutes to secure a 2-1 victory for the home side. That result, coupled with Rangers' ability to hold on and capture 3 points, meant that the Gers finished the season 1 point ahead of their hated adversaries. Another match where injury time steals the show. European rivals Italy and Germany played an enthralling 118 minutes of scoreless football in front of 65,000 fans in Dortmund before the pro-German crowd had its heart broken. After left-back hero Fabio Grosso scored one of the more memorable goals in World Cup history, followed by one of the more emotional celebrations, cameras showed utter despair in the crowd as fans with German flags and face paint were reduced to tears. Juventus legend Alessandro Del Piero would secure the result with the final kick of the match minutes later, as Italy stopped Germany from making an appearance in the showpiece event of the tournament in Berlin.